very good. Yes, you are. Yay. Da-da-da.
Here we
There
go.
we go. Hi. Hi. It's me
Hi,
from Little Metal Boxes. Hi, Michael.
how are you guys?
Good. I've got Helen and Julia
Also from Little
Hi,
Metal
Julia.
and Michael Nashef. And welcome. We are so excited to have you. We were very lucky to meet Michael at the Seattle Metals Guild Symposium in the beginning of October. And Michael did an amazing artist lecture. So thank you very much for that. I just was like, I must know you. I need to know you. It was just really fun. It was really fun. And one of the reasons that I know you otherwise is because actually it was this one that I got first. And I did a little video that I had where I like reorganized all my drill bits. This like is a game changer for me, I have to say, because I had them all over the place, and this has like sorted out my life. So thank you. Thank you for
You're
changing
welcome.
my life. I really appreciate it.
You're
So
welcome.
this
Your
is
favorite
a
thing about that, Jennifer?
say what?
What's your favorite thing about the board besides the fact that they're all in one place?
Well, there are several things I like about it. The fact that I can get all my drill bits in here. It has all the drill bit numbers, but it also has the size in millimeters, which is
Yeah.
really, really helpful.
Super
Super
handy.
helpful. And I can see, because it has a little window, how many I have left, which is really good. And it keeps them from falling out, which is great. So, and I can close it so they don't fall out, which is great. The other one that I immediately got after that was for my saw blades because I needed to organize those. And this also has closed where I can close it, but it has all the sizes for the saw blades. It's got the millimeters. It has which gauges it's best for sawing. I can see if I have any left, and the drill size hole. Love that part. I love that part. So good. So, Michael, I know that during the talk you were saying that you had designed these. Talk about the evolution of the design for these, because that has been just awesome.
Yes, well, first of all, thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and talk to you guys. So the Kerf started somewhat of a personal project initially.
Mhm.
Um, I kind of have a little bit of OCD. I think all jewelers do have OCD. So, varying levels of it. And at one point, I had the saw blades, and they were in my toolbox that is actually next to me here. But I noticed that they come in little bags, and sometimes the bags open, or you leave it open, or whatever, and then they come out, and then they get mixed together. And if you guys know, I mean, or you guys know that we have a total of about 16 blades, 16 sizes, and
Yeah.
all of these blades are literally matching in size. They don't have any numbering on them, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's gotta be a better way to really make this or make a container for this. So I started working on it a little bit, and this is what I came up with, which was basically the Kerf, this is the first tool that I made. And to be honest, I had it in my box for, I would say, maybe a year and a half or 2 years. I carried it around. I really, I tried it, put all my subblades in there. It worked just fine, and it was really good. And that was it for about a year and a half. And after that, I think it was September of 2019, and things were a little bit slow. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to post this on Facebook just for the hell of it. I don't know. Maybe I'll sell three, four pieces, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So
And I posted it like at 8 o'clock at night or 7:30, and then before I know it, this thing went a little bit viral. So I'm up at 2:30 at night, answering people, and people messaging me like, "I won one. Can you email me or can you send me where I can send you money and all of that. So I honestly had to take the post down because I didn't have any in stock. So it was one of these things where like,
Would
oh
any-
my God, okay.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry?
And you were like, hey, this is a thing. Would anybody be interested? And the world was like, yes. And they
Yes, yes. And it was really, cool to have that. And the next day I woke up, I told my wife what happened. Um, and I was like, well, I need to buy more printers and, make this work. So initially I start doing all kinds of colors and I was like just trying to make them and sell them. And it was great. But as soon as I found out that I have something here and this kind of worked really well, that's when I decided, I was like, okay, you know what, maybe I need to kind of just tone down the vision a little bit more, and I decided to create one color initially, and to streamline it and basically do some kind of marketing. So I kind of found a box for it, because initially I was selling them without even a box, right? Then I started putting labels, and I came up with a color scheme, which was the blue and the gray, that's basically the standard color that you get right now.
Yeah.
However, there are two companies that do carry the one that you are holding there, which is basically the magenta color,
Yeah.
right? And that actually is with AA Jewelry. They are in Los Angeles, I think. And the other one is Pepe Tools. They have this color only. These are the only two companies that have it. Every other company, they do have they have the blue. They have it. I have it on my website, obviously. They have it on Stuller, Rio Grande, Autofray, AA Jewelry, and all the other major Gazwin, all the other major retail
wow, you're
uh,
really everywhere. That's
suppliers.
great.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah, and
Sounds for us.
what's fun is this, as you mentioned, that this has actually, um, um, all the information. The first, I would like to indicate, like the first numbering system here is actually the blade size.
Mhm.
So 5/0, 1/0, 1, 2, 3, and it goes from 8 to 1, and from 1/0 to 8/0. 8/0 being the smallest, which is 1.5 millimeter. That's very thin. The second one is the millimeter gauge. You could see that there,
Mhm.
which is basically how wide it is. The third one is the gauge that you're supposed to use the corresponding blade to
Right.
whenever you're cutting, right?
Right.
The open holes are for you to be able to see that if I have any more blades left or I need to order more. And obviously the last numbering system, as you mentioned, is the drill size, in case you want to do an inside cut. That's, some people don't know that, but if
Yeah.
you need to cut a piece of metal from the inside, you need to insert the blade, and you want to use the smallest drill bit that
Right.
will allow you to put the blade in there, and that's basically the system for that. And then there are two more compartments. One of them is the closed, so nothing comes out of it when it's closed. And the last one is for wax or mixed blades, because I cannot tell you how many times I would have a blade that's sitting on my bench, or it fell or whatever, and I don't know what size it is. And you might use it for something, to cut something, that is a sample or whatever. You don't have to worry about what size it is, and you could put it obviously in that compartment. But these ones, this Kerf will fit 16 sizes, and they fit the standard industry, the industry standard, I should say, that is 130 millimeters. I want to be very clear, because I have another kind, right, that is called the U-curve, and I'll talk about that in a second here. But this one is actually a little bit longer. I'll drop my camera so you guys can see it. It's just slightly longer for, and I did that because I found out that there's usually sometimes some Chinese or some different companies or countries that might make a little bit longer blade.
Right.
Mhm.
so that is for that. Now, you're going to ask me like, okay, well, why don't you make this one longer? Great question. And I don't make it longer because, again, this is for the industry American standard blades, right?
Right.
And this one is for the odd ones. And this one actually, it doesn't have the numbering system in here.
Mhm.
And it is a little bit longer. And instead of 16 compartments, this has only 8 or yes, 8. Sorry, it has 8. I forgot if it was 7 or 8, but it has 8
You look at it so
compartments.
far, it's like, wait, is it 8? Is it 10? How many does it have? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
So it has the 8, and the nice thing about it, it's actually the compartments are big enough that you can put a full gross in there. It doesn't matter
Oh, wow.
what blade it is. You could literally buy a gross from whatever tool company you like.
Right.
You can take them all out, put them all in the compartment, and you could use it. Now,
Right.
how will you be able to know what sizes you have? The thing is, or the reason we have this other one, is because some people, when they are starting when they are starting the jewelry hobby, or some jewelers out there, they might have or use the majority of the blades, right? They have most of them, which is great. But then a lot of people are going to tell you like, oh, I will never use, I don't know, like I will never use this many sizes. I'll buy every other size, or I'll buy 3 or 4 sizes, right?
Right.
That's completely great. That's awesome. Then this comes in handy because this will allow you, it comes anytime you purchase this, it comes with a printed label, and it allows you to peel off whatever size you use the most. And all you have to do is literally just be a little bit careful. And you can obviously, let's say, put it in there.
Oh,
And then once you do that,
look at that.
there you go. So now you could fill this whole thing up in the sizes that you use the most, right?
Brilliant.
And then it also has all the information. Number 8/0, it has the millimeter, it has the drill size, all of that information, which allows you to, have the same kind of information that you have here.
Right.
It has also the opening, and it does have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And all what this is, it's basically, sometimes some people might recognize what compartment it is, or if they don't, that's fine. And there is the last one, number 7. It does have the wax and the mixed blades, the same like the other one, if you choose to. So this is very versatile. It allows you to,
Love that.
like mainly, I would say, like this is used a little bit more by the professional jewelers who are on the bench all day.
Yeah.
It would be great for schools too, because
Yes.
most schools don't have all 16
Yes.
blades, right? They're going to have like a number 2, 2/0, 4/0, 6/0, and they're going to have a gross of them.
Yeah.
So having a bigger label and one place where they all live would,
Yeah, that's brilliant.
and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, exactly. So they will, like schools, jewelers who you literally use, 5 to 6 sizes, they load it up, and they usually buy in gross or big amounts, right? So they will put them in there, and it's ready to go for them anytime.
Love
It's
that.
pretty safe. It handles a lot of like beading, and majority of my product is warranted. So in case it breaks, in case it goes bad or whatever, just contact me and I'll be more than happy to replace it.
Oh, I need one of those. Well,
Yeah.
darn it. Another thing.
I have 2
Well-
questions for you about the Kerf, right? One, when you have the gauge of metal that it cuts, are you using the 2 tooth in the metal or 3 teeth in the metal idea, right?
I don't know if I can answer that question. I didn't do my math on that. I took my sheet from Rio Grande
Okay.
and from Stellar,
Okay.
And to me, these are like kind of like the big boys with
Yeah.
the right numbering system in there.
Right.
I have Stellar a Metals book, which has all the information. I actually have a couple other books that like Untrack, the big,
Sure.
we call it like the Bible for the jewelers, right?
Yeah.
And
Right here.
there's, I'm sorry?
I have it right here. I was just
Yeah.
Yep.
laughing.
Yep, and there is one more book that I was looking at, Tim McFright's book, right? Yeah. So I look at all these books. I look at all the charts, and I've settled on this chart. There are some oddities out there, but I found that this is what majority of the companies are selling right now, and that's what I stuck with.
Yeah.
Sometimes, just so you know, sometimes when I do international shipping or I have my product internationally, I usually do adjust the scale for them if need be.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's probably, size for 2 teeth in the metal, because that's what most people do. The 3 teeth in the metal is more of like I know New Concepts, their chart that they use is this one. I don't know if you can see me. So you can probably see me. This chart that New Concepts has on their website, I think that one has 3 teeth in the metal. It just means you use a finer blade. That's all.
Show that again.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So this chart is from the New Concepts website. So it's the jeweler's saw sizes. And so it's all about, and so it says here, 3-tooth engagement, right? And so this is the thickness of the metal. If you wanted to have 3 teeth in the metal, that's the thickness of the metal you'd have to have for that blade.
Right.
Yeah. So my other question.
Yes. Max. His name is Max.
Michael, good luck with
He's our high technician.
Cannot blades. Oh, and I see
Say that one more time.
I see a cat. I was distracted by your kitty. I actually have 10-aught blades. So your Kerf, I would have to put the 10-aught blades probably in the wax or mixed blades section.
Yeah, 10-aught. I actually did not know that they have that.
Yeah. The only place you can get them is from New Concepts, because they're thin. They're so thin that if you try to put them in a regular frame where you spring the tension, break them. So they work well in the New Concept saws because you have the very delicate tensioning, the screw tensioning mechanism.
Yes.
Very gently, because they're like thinner than a hair, and you'll snap them by just putting them in a regular saw frame.
Got it. Okay.
So not many people probably have 10-aughts, but I really like piercing, and it allows you to have that super fine line quality that you can only get if you go down
the width of hair.
Okay. Okay.
The width of hair. They're so thin.
I know. You exist.
Concentrating on comparing your blade organizer to her New Concepts chart.
I am. I think it is the 2.5 tooth. Most of them are like 2.5, 2 to 2.5 teeth per sheet. Yeah. So
I mean, 2 teeth per sheet is the minimum. You have to have at least 2 teeth for the thickness of the metal, or you get the kunk, 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 which you can't do.
Yeah.
3 teeth just makes
a
little bit smoother feel to the cut. And so if for those of you out in the world listening, all you have to do is drop down a size, right? Like if the chart says use a 6-aught, drop down and use an 8-aught.
Right.
Or a 7-aught.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, cool. So tell us about the bore.
All right. The bore I have.
The next development in the line, was that kind of what came next?
Yes. So after I did these, after I did the Kerf, I actually went and I did the bore, which is basically, I mean, you did talk about it a little bit. I think you did the small video, but it's kind of the same concept, the same way this system works.
Yeah.
Oops, let me grab it here. The same way this system works. This is also the same. The only difference is it has a little bit bigger hole here because we have a total of, I believe, 30 drill bits or these are called high-speed drill bits.
Right.
And this is, I want to be very clear, there are two kinds of drill bit systems now, okay? Yes. So the first one, this is for high-speed drill bits that has variable shank thickness, right?
Shank
And then you have
as the drill itself, right? For the high speed steel. Right.
Yes, the shank.
Yeah, high speed steel.
Absolutely, yes. The shank is as thick as the drill bit or the drill section of that one.
Right.
The other one is for it's called twist, and that's for the twist drill bits. And they all have, there's actually 20, there's 20 sizes. They have 20 sizes. And the shank thickness is the 3/32 or the 2.3 millimeter.
Right.
And this is mainly used by the professional jewelers that they do work all day on the bench. So these people tend to use the quick release. If you don't know what the quick release is, it's this handpiece that has a little quick release here and allows you to slide the shank shaft really, really fast, right? Without it, I mean, you could use either one, but if you are a jeweler, speed is everything. If you are a bench jeweler, you're sitting on the bench, you want to be able to, not grab the chuck and try to open it.
Time is money.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So you want to be able to switch really fast. So that being said, exactly.
For every drill bit. So the bore is for drill bits that fit in a number 30 hand piece that has the variable chuck that closes and opens so that it can change size to fit the shank of the drill.
Right.
And
yes.
Twist
absolutely.
For the quick change hand piece only.
Right.
Yes, exactly. And the reason
you can use those twist drill bits in a regular number 30, hand piece. They just, why pay the extra money if you're not buying them because they cost more? Why pay the extra if you're not buying them because they afford you the convenience of the quick change?
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, the twist drill bits are not cheap compared to the normal high-speed drill bits. The twist drill bits, they tend to be I mean, there's obviously different brands, but I believe the thinner they are, the more expensive they are, and the faster they break. But they are about, I think, $7 or $8 per.
Right.
If not more. I mean, that's when I was buying them, but they could be more now. But anyway, so the bore, as I was talking or saying, is it has the size of the drill bit. They start from 80 to 51, and they also has the millimeter gauge in there. It starts from 0.34 millimeters all the way up to 1.7. There's also mixed sizes in case you get one that you don't know what size, and there's the closed. The reason it does this one, if you notice, there's a little bit of a shimmer and there's like a window in there. The reason I did that is because I found out that I wanted the ability to see what's inside, but the problem was there are some really, really, the number 80, it's very, very small.
Tiny, and you didn't want it to shake out the window. So
Exactly, and it was coming out. So I had to come up with an idea where it allows me to put these windows from the inside, protecting that. Mind you, I just want to also mention that sometimes if you try to cram, let's say, a size 60, 68 and 80, it doesn't work, and that's because the floor starts from here. So you need to be careful, like when you are loading it up, you actually are corresponding to the right one, because the shorter it is, if it's too short, then it's going to be way down here, and it's going to fall, and it might catch, or it might go sideways if there was too much play, and I don't want that to happen. So the ceiling or the floor for the 80s,
nice design, nice,
and it goes down all the way down here.
Yep.
Oh,
We love you, Michael, because you thought about that and you solved that problem. Yes.
Thank you.
oh
Thank you.
my goodness. That's so
Yeah,
smart.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep,
actually
and it just
ran
like
across that.
switch or opens like this. It's
Yeah.
very, you dial it to whatever size you want. You take the blades out. I actually have one green for me, but just dial it to whatever size you want and take the drill bit, and
Dylan's
that's
gonna want a
it.
green one.
No, I got one of the early ones. Mine has a green top with a gray body.
Oh,
Probably, yes. And I'll tell you what, a lot of people from like when I first started doing that, I really wasn't concentrating, or I didn't care for the color too much, although I love color, but it wasn't a priority, let's put it
Yeah,
this way, right?
yeah.
And yeah, there are some weird colors out there.
Now green is my favorite color, so I got the green
That's
top
good.
body, so it's like perfect.
My God,
Nice.
that's awesome. Well, yeah, and I have actually run across the like I put one in and I'm like, why won't it turn? And I realized that it was the wrong size and the wrong
Yes,
dremel.
yes.
So,
Yeah, I've had some people contact me. I was like, well, you need to make sure that this
right.
is, you're putting it in the right space. And that's important. And that's the beauty of this. It's, I try to make my tools as, foolproof or as
Just say
more,
idiot
but
proof.
in a good way, of course, in a good way, but like more of in a way where it allows you to, if you follow that system,
Yeah.
if you follow that system, your tools are always organized, right? That's the idea. Like that's basically what brings me in to the
Oh,
other one, this unit here, which is basically it's on your desk.
it's a Dalek.
And
It's a Dalek.
I'm sorry.
It's a Dalek.
She's
It's-
talking about the Doctor Who, the villains in the Doctor Who series are the Daleks, that are these like
That
cone
shape.
aliens that
You mean this?
Yes, that's it. Yes.
yes, that's more like a Dalek. Yes.
Yeah. So this one here is it's called Konos. You put it on your bench. It's very easy. Like imagine if you were sitting a little bit actually lower. Let's say I'm gonna drop. So if you're sitting on the bench, it's next to you. You just like, just touch it like this, and basically it spins and it rotates, right?
Yeah.
And the nice thing about this, or what it has in it, it has 250 holes in it, so it will hold a lot of burrs, right?
Sure.
I thought I had a lot, and then when I put all my burrs in, I was like, oh wow, yeah, I have more space. So to fill it up, that's amazing. But it has 164 that are 332nd shank, meaning it has the quick release standard shank.
Mhm.
But at the bottom, if you look here, you will notice that this is like a line, this long line is the 332nd, and then down here, that's for the 1/8, because how many times you order a mandrel or you order something thinking that you ordered the standard one and it comes and it's thick, or somebody else gives you a old tools and it has the 1/8, but you don't have a space for it to put it in, and this allows you to literally put it in there.
And a lot of the Dremel tools are a little bit larger shank as well.
Exactly. Majority of the Dremel tools are 1/8, so you could put them here now, and in addition to putting your other ones there. And on the top part, I don't know if you could see it there. This is actually, I do apologize. I thought I have the GRS quick release, and I looked for it twice before we started, and I couldn't find it. But like for instance, with me, I have engravers, and I have the GRS quick release for the engraver, and this will actually fit in the top here.
Great.
So it's nice. So it fits in there, and you put it on your bench, and it's somewhat. It has non-slid, or this one doesn't. Sorry, that's because this was on my bench, and this was from the early one. We'll open a new one.
So
the new one.
I was going to say, I have a rotary burr holder on my bench, which which I had to drill out some of the holes big enough to fit some of those bigger shanks, right? Because they were all, I think they were all like the 332nd. So that was annoying as blank. And then the other aspect is it's made like a wedding cake. So all of the everything is in the plane, right? And so I love the fact that yours, because the shanks are angled into the body, it allows those big heads to not bang into each other, because on mine, if I have two like sanding discs or polishing, wheels next to each other, I can't put them in adjacent holes because the tops are hitting.
Well, and you can't see them because they're vertical from where you're sitting.
I can't see them because they're vertical from where I'm sitting.
Great observation, and that's exactly why I did it this way, is because now the higher you get, this is a little bit harder to accomplish, but the higher you get, I put all these little tiny wheel ones, the very thin ones, no big deal. But when I get lower, when you get lower, you could see, you see how this literally goes in there and they don't touch, right? They don't touch each other, and you could see like the spacing in between them is big enough for them to fit in there.
Very thoughtful. And I can see that the top holes are closer together, like your tinier, pointier little mandrels or bits will go in there, and then the wider ones down at the bottom. Makes sense.
Yep. And so now all of these actually come with non-skid, so we put it on here, it does not see. I'm shaking the whole thing right now, and it doesn't slide.
Is there a weight in the base or anything to keep it from falling over, or no? It's stable because of it.
So the whole thing weighs it. It's so like right now, once I load it up, it still, it's not super light, but it's not super heavy.
Right.
There is a version 2 of this coming out soon that most likely you'll be allowed, or you will be able to fill it up with sand if you want to.
Oh.
I saw that you have a cat in your studio. I saw that cat go by. I frequently have cats in my studio. So things that tip over are a concern, things that have the potential to be knocked over by a feline passing by are definitely an issue.
Yes. So basically, I'm going to talk about another unit right now, which it has this. So right now, I know you can't really feel it, but this has sand in it. This is heavy. This is like, I'm hitting it. Let me actually hit it. So I'm hitting it, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it's barely moving because first it has the non-skid, but also it's filled with sand. And this is, it's not going to move easily. So version number 2 of this, which is, it's almost done or almost finished. So the new ones that are coming out, they will most likely have a plug that allows you to actually fill it up with sand if you choose to do something like that.
And I love this too, that you give people the option so that they don't have to have sand in it. If you're carrying it to workshops or something, you don't have to carry the extra weight, and you don't have to pay the shipping of the sand.
Exactly. So that's a concern because, even when I ship this, I sell these on my website, right? So when I sell them, it costs $5 to ship it, right? This is empty.
Right.
And I do free shipping. So that's $5, out of my profit or out of the cost of the piece, right? But if I'm going to put sand in there, that's going to pretty much double my shipping. And you don't want that. There's no need. No, there's no reason for that. But you have the option to fill it up or not, whatever you choose.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. I always like having options, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sally, it's like you just want to have, the chocolate sauce on the side, right? You want to have choices.
Yes.
So so with all of these new contraptions that you've got, so in the development of all this, you were saying that you had to get another 3D printer. And during the slide lecture, I was really, or during your talk, I was like, that is amazing. Because now you have a whole room.
I love that picture of the whole wall of 3D printers with their little, putting out their little.
I do. Currently I have an office that has 2 big rooms in it, and I have about 50 3D printers. Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I need to buy a
Yeah.
printer, says Michael. And it's like, she's like, yeah, whatever. You have 50, get another one if you need it. Yeah.
Pretty much, right. So,
God.
yeah, right now I have 50 3D printers. In my house, I have only 3. I have like a really high-end one here in the studio for wax, different material. And then I have 2 upstairs. And yeah, the office has 40,
40.
47, and the 3 that I have here, that makes it 50.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So it's like, honey, we need plates. Sure.
Wow. I mean, it works. That's one of the reasons why I'm able to bring this in the price range that it is, and and even the design, like some of these, it's actually somewhat impossible to make in mold making. That's the
Yeah.
issue, right?
Right.
The reason I'm able to make this design is because I'm able to 3D print this. This is from the inside, it's solid from the inside, right? It has volume. It's not just a wall, right? Like it has the wall from the inside. Now, you talked about the one that looks like a cake.
Yeah, so the one that where the holes are, it's like a little tube, right? So that it supports it. It's not just a hole in a tin can so that it would be all flopping around.
Right.
Exactly.
The wedding cake one just has, it's plastic and then holes were drilled in it. And so, that's why I could plastic the holes and make them bigger.
And that's why when you look at it, you notice that the design is very simplistic. That's because the modeling or making the molds of it's not simplistic. It's just that was the technology at that time, right? So we always move forwards, we always advance, and so on. And like this is, for instance,
3D printing wasn't a thing, right? When I bought mine,
exactly.
This was before. I mean, I think 3D printing perhaps existed in industry, but it certainly had not had the level of ubiquity that it does now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah.
What I know you have a couple of new things on the bench. What's coming up?
I do. So the 2 new things are, well, 3. We'll go with 3. I have a third one that it's not even on my website yet.
Okay.
But so this one here is, I talked about this a little bit. It's the twist drill bit holder. It's for the 332nd shank. It retails at $25, and you can hear it. It has the drill bits in it, and you just dial to whatever size you want, and you pull it out, and you could use the drill bit. So it works really well. It's very compact. It's just really functional. Now, the other one that I want to show you that it's very, very interesting, and I think a lot of hobbyists would love to have something like this, is the needle file holder.
Right.
So this unit here
I'm getting one of
allows you to, basically it does have the non-skid, stickers down there. It has a very smooth, quiet action, which I forgot to mention that the new design of these, the version number 2, will have actually this new mechanism, which is, you could see that it's super quiet.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And this one is actually, it's not quiet, right? So the new version of that will have this new system that is very, very quiet, and it works really well. But if you look here, you will see that there are 3. First, we're going to notice that you're going to have all the shapes of majority of the files in there. So if I am looking for a square, you look for the square, and this is the square file, right?
Love it.
Right. And then there are 3 compartments or 3 areas, A, B, where is it here? A, B, and C. That's for like some odd design that, I didn't think about, or not your standard design.
Right.
But you will notice that there are 3 levels in there. And each line contains 12 files. So you could carry up to 36 needle files, which is a lot. To be honest with you, I don't know if anyone needs more than 36. But the idea is, and you could actually follow whatever system you want. You could possibly go fine, medium, and coarse, or
Right.
coarse, medium, or fine.
Right.
And
Two
however
course.
you like. Exactly.
Mhm.
So you are able to really figure out whatever works best for you and the way you work. And when I ship it, I actually ship it just like this, right?
Mhm.
I ship it. If you're ordering something else, it comes in the white box. But if you're ordering the piece itself, it comes in a stronger box, obviously. But when you order it, it comes like that, and comes kind of like with a little sheet explaining that you have the option to fill it up with sand or not. And this is the lid, right? So
Yeah.
the lid comes off, you fill it up with sand here, and once you fill it up with sand, this has two little notches in there. You put it on and you push it in, and it will click in, and it's just heavy, and it's just like that.
That's
And it will
Can you get it out
it
again?
will not tip easy.
Can you
I'm
get
sorry?
the lid out again, or is it like permanently locked in?
You
At that?
can, yes, you can, I found out that if you do it few times, the
No.
the little clicky parts
Yeah.
go bad.
Mhm.
But actually, I just fixed that problem. So anything that kind of ships out should have that little fix.
Right.
But yes, it's I found out, like, if you click it the first time, it works just fine. But if you keep on taking it in and out, eventually that little knob breaks. And I was able to fix that and make it work better. And if anyone orders this and it breaks, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to send you. I'll send you a new one in an envelope or something.
Oh, that's good.
I have a question. Do you ship
Sure.
it internationally?
I do ship international, yes. However, I do have right now a few companies that starting to sell my product internationally. Cook in the UK.
Have
Cook
the
cold.
they didn't have the tang of, because I guess it's new.
Not yet. Actually, that might come soon. Maybe call them and ask for it so they can get on it.
Yeah.
But it's one of these things where I have a salesperson that he does sell in Europe, and he's in talks with Cook, and hopefully soon they will order. I'm not really sure, where they are. I should be probably checking with them, but the point is, yeah, just call them, let them know that you want it, other people want it.
Stop
So
by. Well, she's close, and she has taken me there.
I will go to the Cooks in London office and I will be like, I need this.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. They do have my Kerf, and I don't know if they have some other stuff, but I know they have the Kerf.
Yes.
I know they have the Kerf for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know, let me see. There are, I think there is one in Germany that was ordering some of the pieces. I don't know if they have them yet. Forgot the name. Oh my God, what's the name of the company? I have it in my email. I just haven't memorized it. I also sell in Australia and
Great.
in Japan. Japan has all my product. They are called C-Force Jewelry Supply. And they make these really awesome, crazy videos in Japanese. So it's really fun to watch them. So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
Fun,
just go
fun.
to the Japanese videos. We'll put it in the description under this video so that people
Yeah, we can link to it. Yeah.
Let me go.
Yeah.
Link to it for sure.
And one of the other ones I want to show you.
Yeah, what
Do
is
you have any questions on this before I move?
Oh yeah.
I do have
How
one.
much time do you still have?
I do have
Yeah.
one question because me, I always have. So when I use needle files, I like to have a handle on my needle files, right? Lots of people
Mhm.
don't because they have a tang that can substitute as a handle, but I like to have a bit of a handle, and so I would probably put my files in the other way up, and I'm curious if there would be enough room for the handles to not touch each other. What I use are the wooden handles like this. So you can see, like This is the needle file, and then I have a wooden handle on it. So it would have to, and I think these are probably about, I don't know, maybe at most about 1/2 inch. So it would have to have, let's see. Yeah, they're a little less than half. Well, no, this one happens to be about exactly 1/2 inch. So, but they would be 1/2 inch or smaller. Is there enough room that if I put the files in this way, there'd be room for them?
So this is something I kind of struggled with a little bit, meaning should I make this in a way where it allows people with handles to do this? I came to a conclusion that there are way too many options out there for handles, right? And some people might make their own, some people might print their own, some people might do whatever, right? So there wasn't really one easy, simple, quick solution for all of that. Now, for what you have, it will work. However, the opening, it will work, for instance, like this is the square file. I could put it this way.
Yeah.
And I will work this way.
Yes.
Okay. And if you put it in the front row, there is going to be enough for the handle. If you put it in the back rows, I don't think there will be. Now, the issue with that is that if you have a flat end like this, it might not go. And I actually was thinking, like, what if I actually do the cutouts in there? But then I'm complicating things because there are different sizes. And if I'm going to make this any bigger, then the price is going to be different and the packaging.
Right.
So there's this whole new tier of issues with it.
Cascade of problems. Yes.
Yes.
Don't yourself the cascade of problems. I totally understand.
Yes. So in this case, if you decide, like, if you have the handles, then there might be down the road some kind of other like simplistic form for these things. But for now, I don't. It works best without the handles.
Without the handles, which is totally fine, right? Like,
I'm one of the people that does not have handles, so I will be ordering one. But the thing too, I think that's important to note about this, because I know with our friend Chris Anderson at Lion Punch Forge, Chris, a lot of his designs are, you can only design so much into the tool.
Absolutely.
A good design tool is going to work for most of the people most of the time, but it's not going to work for all the people necessarily all the time, because then it sort of starts to lose its functionality, I think.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's a really good point. It's really easy to, you can't, if you try to include everyone, then ultimately it doesn't work well for anyone.
Yeah.
We'll try to include, but yes, there is that fine balance between functionality, between the price, between manufacturing, between like how much is too much design. Like, I'll give you an example on this one here, right? Yeah. This unit is called Burro. This is the most expensive tool I have. This is made out of 6 levels that come apart, right? Now, this is not for your normal bench jeweler. This is not for the hobbyist. I'll be very honest with you. This is not for somebody who even does stone setting maybe once a day, or even 2 or 3 times a day. This unit specifically designed with the stone setter in mind, and this is the hardcore stone setters. Now, if you're a jeweler who does setting majority of the time and you want one, you could absolutely have it. I'm not going to prevent you from getting it, right? But the idea, or the way you can maximize the cost of this unit and really feel like you are taking advantage of what we designed here, or what I designed here, to make this work, is by being an actual stone setter. And here's why this works. I'm going to bring it down this way and I'll show you. So the first layer that has these openings, so when you're sitting, you can actually just spin it, and it spins very smooth, very quietly, right? You will notice that it has the burr number, but it has also the image of the ball burrs, and it has them all the way from 001, which is 1/10 of a millimeter, right?
Yes.
All the way up to 100, which is actually on this side, to 100 of a millimeter, right? Or am I reading it wrong? Let me see it. Hold on. I'm sorry. It starts. I'm reading it upside down. It starts from 0.8, which is basically eighth of a millimeter, right? This is how small this is, and it goes all the way to 10 millimeters. That's the large one. Now,
a whole centimeter.
what do you have? Right. So you have it here. You have it in a way where this little ball burr, you could use it. The idea is when you are sitting on the bench, you take it out, you use it, you bring it back, right? And you keep on using it till this thing goes back. And then when it goes back, you can look at the back. There are openings here. So let's pretend, because I don't have all the designs, but there is a backstock, right? So you use this till it goes back, you throw it away, and then you take one from the back, and then you put it up front, and now this is the main one that you're going to use till it also goes back. So first, it reduces the waste.
Right.
And what I mean by that is when you are using the same one and you're not just putting them in a little box, you're always using the same one till it goes bad, and then you renew it to a newer one. That's one. Two, if you follow the system and you use it and then you put it back, you use it and you put it back. So anytime a bench jeweler or a stone setter is actually working, they do something called clocking. I don't know if you guys heard that term before. So clocking is basically literally taking one of the millimeter gauges, measuring the stone, and then measuring the burr and making sure that it works, it's the right size. So it takes a little bit of time. It takes probably 2 or 3 or 4 days, depending on the person, to train your muscles to take it and put it back in. But once you do that, all you have to do is you don't have to clock anymore. So when you're setting 10 different sizes or whatever, and let's say now I'm doing this size, and now I'm doing that size or whatever, all you have to do is just take it, put it in your thing, drill, and then put it back here, and you're good to go. And then this unit here will contain, or it will have it will hold majority of all the burrs, right? You have the ball burrs, which is the most used in stone setting, followed by the 40, I believe the 70, 90, and the 45 hard burrs, right?
Right.
Now, you're going to ask me, like, Michael, what if I have 2 of these? Meaning, what if I have the 90 and I have the 70? No problem. You could actually buy an extra set, right? Because these stack up as high as you want them to be. So you could have the 40, you have the 50, the 40, the 45, the 70, and the 90. You could stack 3 of these layers on top of each other. Then after that, you have the setting burrs, and it fits majority of the setting burrs. Then you have the cup burrs. Then you have the butt burrs. Then you have the twist drill bits, right? And then on the top, you are able to put the beads, the bead tooling system, or the GRS system. Here, I'll hold it up here for you.
Yeah.
So the GRS system or the beading, because the beading actually doesn't go on these ones, right? The beading is thicker than 2.3. It's not 3/32. It's thicker than that, right? So it goes in this one here. Now, you're going to ask me, like, well, what company did you use to follow the system? Initially, and that's why I have one in the back. Initially, when I did this, I worked actually with 2 stone setters, and they said, like, all I use is Bush. I was like, no problem. Bush is kind of like the really high quality burrs. It's a good company. So I did the system according to the Bush. And we learned really fast that not everyone uses Bush. And we learned really fast that other companies has different sizes. So long story short, this went from like a 6-month project to a year and a half it took to finish it, to finish the design. It literally took us a year and a half I did so many samples, and I have a huge Excel sheet that has almost every company that makes burrs,
Oh,
and I have all their sizes,
oh my God.
and I have the most common sizes between all the companies. Then, because somebody else might tell me like, "Oh, Michael, I have this company and this bird doesn't fit, or it doesn't have a location."
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Like again, back to making the most inclusive or inclusive, like tool that can carry majority of the tools, and this unit does that. It carries almost all the major brands, almost all the major standard sizes, and almost all the major designs. Even when it comes to the butt burr, like you might tell me like, I don't use butt burrs, I use cylinders. That's fine. You don't have to use the butt burrs. You could use the cylinder in the butt burr. So there is like this kind of scale where, okay, you don't use it here, then you could use a different style in there.
Right.
But yeah, this unit works really well. It is pretty heavy. It doesn't need sand by itself. It's pretty heavy unit. It takes 5.5 days to print one of these.
Oh,
my
gee.
God. Yeah. Well,
Yes, and it
that
takes a
material-
full roll. Yeah.
So with that, you said you can buy like a section and put it in. So you can buy separate rings to put in there.
You can. Now, for the system to work best, basically, so the reason I did it this way, because I might get someone who might say, like, I don't use butt burrs. I don't want that level.
Right.
Instead of using the butt burrs, I want to be able to use 2 of the lower part, right? And then I want to use this. So let me just put this back in.
Mhm.
And then I want to use, so let me show you here. Then they don't want to use this. They want that you could do it this way.
Ah, cool.
So you could like then take this one and like put it down here. So you could shorten if you need to, right? And you could customize it. But to be honest with you, I've sold quite a few of these, and here's what I found out: that the system that I have, the standard default system, works just fine. I've been in a couple shows where, I had someone kind of comment about the price, like, oh, it's a little bit too much or whatever. And this stone setter completely interrupts him. He's like, listen, this is the best investment you will ever do for your business if you buy one of these. And I didn't even pay that guy. Like, he was just selling my product. And I was like, can I videotape you so I can use this on my site? But it was like one of these things where he comes in and he tells the guy, he's like, listen, once you get used to working with it, he's like, it will make your work very fast, very clean. The bench, you have all your burrs in one single area. And here's the cool part. When you are trying to reorder, you don't have to look at all the boxes and shuffle through them. You just spin it really quick, and see what are you missing the most of.
Right.
Like, oh, this one, I don't have anything in the back stock. Great. You just order that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes so much sense. I mean, it really is.
Thank you.
Amazing. It's a tremendous project just in printing it alone, it sounds like, too. So, I mean, 5 days.
What you said, 5.5 days?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, 5.5. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so you said you had something else coming down the line. What else is coming down the line?
So this little baby, you guys are getting the first look on it. No, like, it's not even on my site. I didn't even take images of it yet. Yeah, but it's coming. So this is the beading tool. The beading tool. Now, granted that not a lot of hobbyists might use this, but this is mainly for like doing a little bit of fine work, doing pave setting. That's when you raise the prong a little bit. When you are doing flush setting, you put the beading on the side and you push the metal in. So there is, I believe, 22 sizes. They go from size, let me see, from 0 to 22. So there is 23 sizes, right? And this little compartment, or this little concept here, is pretty much the same idea like the other ones, where you have these little pieces that have this little bead in there that allows you to create a little bead. You could literally take it out, use it, and put it back in its place. The lower compartments is when you have extras, right?
Yeah.
When you have the new ones. This opening here is actually for the block, the metal block that allows you to fix these when they go bad.
Nice.
Okay. I don't actually have the block. I ordered from Stellar. I just don't have it currently, but I ordered from Stellar, and that's why I don't have images. I'm waiting to purchase the block so I could use it. But the nice thing about this here too is also this goes in there. So now you take this and you use it and you do the work that you need to do. And when you're done, you could choose to take the top off and put it back here. Or if you know, let's say you're using this only size right now, you could just put it in and it will go all the way through.
Love it.
So it sits on the bench. It's nice and clean. Everything is organized, allows you to have everything in there, and it works just fine.
Yeah, love it. That's great.
Thank you.
Another like super specific tool for a very specific group of workers. Right?
Yes, this is, I would say that this is not for,
it's not
for the hobbyists, and the hobbyists might have this, but it's mainly related to more the actual bench jewelers, the people who are sitting on the bench more than just the creators themselves, right? I want to also point out that I do have I collaborated with Stellar. They have a new burr system called Stellar burrs. They are making them only for Stellar. Stellar has them in the United States. They are these burrs they are high-speed burrs with very, very fine teeth. They cut like butter. They are really, really nice. I use them as a sample, or I use them in my work. But the nice thing about them is we created this little kit, right? That when you order the burrs from them, the kit comes with it. So basically, none of the burrs fall off. However, you could also dial it to whatever size you want. And when you dial it, let's say I want size 36 because I'm cutting a stone that is 3.6 millimeter. You just bite it out, you use it, you put it back in, and then you could close it when you want to. And it works just fine, and it works really well. And they come in all the sizes, and they stack up, and they have all the different sizes. So that's something. It's not on my site, so you cannot buy it from my site. You can just buy it from Stellar. If you guys need a Stellar burr, or you need, something to, like a more fine burr that you need to use. So that's also
like that for my
that works.
So that'd be great. Yeah. Just setting burrs alone, that'd be great.
So I just want to also throw a little bit something in there for the future. We'll talk about that later. There is something coming soon for the torch. Which everyone has. So we'll just throw that as a little Easter egg for future episode, maybe.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, exactly. And that's I'm collaborating with actually a big artist, Boris Bally.
Oh yeah,
because so me and Boris Bally were working on that.
Yeah, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so cool. Well, oh my gosh, Michael, so much good.
So much information.
Thank you.
So good. So thoughtful. Your tools are so thoughtfully crafted. And of course,
absolutely. And we'll have to have you back when you get the torch stuff worked out. That would be great.
Yeah.
The new one and the new tools coming out. But like I said, I love this. It for those of you that are, working on your bench and you're like, I need something to help organize. I love the fact that the color is like easy to see, easy to grab, easy to organize. It just makes it so much easier, period, to be able to get stuff done. So I love that. So for people that are trying to get organized on a bench, I highly recommend them personally. So, but Michael, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it, and look forward to what's coming up next.
You're welcome. I want to give you the code. If somebody would if somebody wants to order from my site, I
Yeah.
can give them a code. Except, I'm so sorry, I didn't write the code down. So let me just look it up really quick so I
Sure.
can give it to you.
Okay.
And the code it's a promo code. It allows you to take 15% off anything you order from the site. So it's pretty good and substantial. It is.
I'm just going to
coupons.
write it down so that I can put it in the description under the video.
Yes, yes.
The web
I'm-
nashefdesign.com.
So
And
that'll
yes, nashefdesigns.com. Yes.
and
be in
then
the video.
/ shop
Yeah.
for the shop part.
And that'll be in our in the description
description.
below.
Yes. And the logo will be Metal Fox.
Metal
Great.
Fox.
Metal Fox.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes, Metal Fox. Metal Fox should give you 15% off when you order online. Okay?
All lowercase, all caps,
All capital letter. METALFOX.
no
Great.
space, all caps. Okay.
Yes,
Perfect.
all caps. Yes.
Thank you. That's great. I know our
You're
people
welcome.
are thrilled to
Quick,
hear
quick
that.
question: Is there a time limit on that?
Till December.
Okay.
So it's great if these things work really well as a Christmas gift or as a holiday gift, I should say, to anyone who has friends in the metalsmith industry or whatever. I've had a lot of people who would order them for their friends or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a great time to order it right now because you'll get the discount and you will get you can get them something that is useful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great for students, great for professionals, all the way around.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Those
Yes.
of us that need to be more organized in the studio.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. That's great. We'll put that
You're welcome.
below
Yep.
and on our Instagram as well and on our website. So we'll have a cross
Sounds good.
a couple of places. Again, thank you so much. We're looking forward to catching up with you later on, and everybody check out the classes that are coming up, and be sure to, I'm going to be that person right now, be sure to like and subscribe so that and click that bell so that you know when we're live for Tooltip Tuesdays. You'll get a notification for that, and you can see all of them. We have over 100 and some odd, 120, I think, tooltips that are on the website or here on YouTube. So if you have a topic that you're interested in sort of reviewing or looking at, or some of the tooltips, please check them out. We've had Ian Weber from Lindstrom Tools and among others who are fantastic at talking about their tools and how they developed them. So we hope you'll check those out. And Michael,